Today we're going to build this 8-bit retro pixely portfolio using Next.js, TypeScript, and Tailwind, and we're going to mix it up with Nes.css, which is a CSS framework made especially for this 8-bit-like design. And in our portfolio, we're going to add here some kind of hero section, so with the description and with the header. Here we're going to mention some skills, and on this pixely star, we're going to put projects and the link to those projects. And here, a small drop-down with some links, with icons. And this one, let me just make it smaller so you can see, is an orc. And when you go your mouse over, he says, subscribe. I'm going to share this with you on a GitHub repo. You can check it in the description below. And while you're there, hit that like button, show me some orcish love. As always, we are starting from scratch, and first thing I'm going to do is to run npx create next app latest. And we're going to name our app 8-bit portfolio. And we're going to use TypeScript, we're going to use ESLint, Tailwind. We're not going to use sources directory, app router, yep, and nope for import aliases. And our app is now being installed. There it is. Now we go to 8-bit portfolio and run pm dev. And that one should be good. Let's now open another tab here. So we're going to install our dependencies. And here it is. We installed our Next.js application. Now let's see how to install this Nes.css. So we are going to this readme.md. And there we need to install our dependency. Here it is. So we need to install Nes.css. We're going pm add Nes.css. And that one is successfully installed. Nice. And now we need to import it into our project. So we're going to use this import for the nes.min.css. And inside of our code, I'm going to lay out and I'm going to import it here. So now we have it imported for the whole project. And next thing, we need to do something else? Okay, we need our font, so we need this font. I already used that one on textual games. Its name is press start 2p. So let's just here call press start, here it is, 2p instead of enter, and we're going to call it here press start 2p and call it here for our body. And we have here something, argument type subset. Okay, we need weight also, so we are going to call here weight, and it should be a string 400. Okay, that one should be now good. Let's see how does it look here. Okay, we have our new font. It already looks much more retro. And I think we can already now start implementing our components. Let's try something. Let's try some simple button. For example, these buttons here. And we are going to our page and let's delete, not there, but here. Let's delete everything except the main and just put those buttons here. Instead of class, we are going to put class name. And let's see how does it look. Yes, it's working. So we have our Nes.css successfully installed. Let's remove this minimum height screen so we can make it look normal and remove this image. We don't need it for now. And now we can start the fun part. And you probably see that we have a mix of Nes.css and Tailwind. And that was the first thing I was wondering, because Nes.css is not some new CSS framework. I was wondering if this is even going to work, but it works perfectly fine. I mean, here if we put, for example, div and put our buttons inside, and here we put just a class name of flex, it's going to work. So that's really a big thing for me at least. So let's go things one by one. First, I'm going to put in the images that I have already prepared for this project. I'm just going to toss it into the public one. And so here we have action shield, grass, and pixel orc. I created all of this with Dolly 3 inside of Orcish AI Next.js framework. If you haven't seen it, check it out. And first thing I'm going to do is to put this grass to our background. So I'm going to globals.css, and here in the background I'm going to put URL. So that one is in our public folder, so it's going to be just a slash and then grass.jpg. And it's going to be on repeat, and we can put this linear gradient to be next. So now we have our pixely background. Now already it's Super Mario style. Now let's create our hero section. So here I'm going to close global CSS and grass. I think we're not going to need it anymore. And here I'm going to put h1 tag. And for the content, I'm just going to copy paste everything from orcdev.com website. So I don't need to make things up. And here we have our header. Looks nice. Next thing we need is the container, so we can take it here from Nes.css, and let's search for containers. Here it is. So we are going to take this one, which is centered, so just copying this whole thingy, and I'm going to put it instead of these buttons. We don't need them anyway. And instead of class, we're going to put class name. And let's see, what do we have here now? Okay, it looks nice. We just need to fix it a little bit. And let's put this text from here instead of this good morning text they have. And for this one, we're just going to say greetings like this. Let's see how does it look. Okay, we need a little bit of gap. I'm just going to put here gap of 10, so we have that space between everything, and we're going to make this something like Nes blue. So I'm going to put here in the background blue 200. Let's see now. Yeah, that's exactly what we need. That width is maybe just a little bit too much, so I'm going to put here, let's say, width of 45 rem, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, this one is much better. So we have now some kind of container and that old retro style look. Next thing is our skills section. So for that one, we are going to use this third container that's without the title, and I'm going to copy paste it and put it here below our hero section. Just rename class to class name, and let's see how does it look. Looks okay. We're just going to put background to white, and now it should be better. Nice. So here I'm just going to write, these are my skills, and put 2 dots. So we have it like that, and now we can just put our skills below. For that, we are going to use badges from Nes.css. So let's see here, badge, here it is. So we are using this one. I'm going to copy, let's say, 3 of them and just put them below here, and all classes to class names. And let's just see how does it look. Oh, it's already like working fine, but I think if we add a new one, it will just going to, yeah. So we're going to create here a grid system for these badges, and we are going to put grids and grid calls of 3. Later we are going to put it to be mobile responsive, to put grid calls to 1 or something like that. Okay, so now it's going down after number 3. That's good. And now we can put our actual skills. So here, instead of Nes.css, I'm going to put Next.js, and this one is going to be TypeScript, and this one is going to be JavaScript. Let's see if we are changing it in the right way. Okay, so I'm going to put JavaScript to be yellow. That's is warning instead of is success. And let's put here, for example, Tailwind, and we're going to put below, let's say, shed cn. And in the end, we're going to place something orcish, and that is going to be orcish is green, so success. And we're going to write a warrior. And now, instead of all these hrefs, we're going to put a next link like this, and replace all the A's. Nice. So let's see how does it look now. Looks great. These are my skills, should be maybe centered. Text center and remove these two dots. Nice. Now we're going to add an image above. So that's this axe and shield thingy. And we're going to use image from Next.js. Width can be, let's just try 100 and height also 100. Source is going to be /x and shield.webp. Again, I created this with the Orcish AI Next.js framework. And alt, just x and shield. Let's see how does it look. Okay, it just needs to be centered. So here we can put a div and we can put it inside. It can be flex and just items center and justify center. And now this is a little bit better. Love these pixels. So now next thing is to build our dropdown here, and inside we put some icons. So we have already icons here and the dropdown inside. Let's first put an icon. So first icon, I'm going to use this trophy, and where it is large, so like this, and I'm going to put it, let's just put it here for now, just to see how does it look. So here looks nice. I'm just going to put it inside, the class name. I'm going to put it inside a button. So let's copy again a button. We don't have any. So I'm going to use just a normal button here, this one. And inside, instead of primary, just put this thingy and change to class name. So let's see how does it look. Great. It's just too big. Where is that? Oh, here. So is large. I'm just going to delete it. Yeah, now looks much better. Let's now create this into a dropdown. Nes.css already has a dialog, I think it is called. Yeah, here it is. So this one is opening what happened dialog. So I'm going to use that one, where it is, this one. And actually we already have a button. We are just going to take this dialog thingy and we are going to put it here. And we are changing all the classes to class names, and this dialog we can just rename it to div, and we can remove our ID and our form. We don't need a form. We don't even need a menu. I think we just need for now this title. And this title is going to be displayed conditionally, so we need a state for that one, and that's a great moment to create our components directory. And inside a UI, and inside of UI we're going to create a header. So inside header.tsx, and we are going to use the snippets to create our component, and we are just going to rename it here to header and move this entire part inside of our header. So because it is a header, we're going to use the header tag and not the div. And now what I usually do, I mean not usually, but I always do that in every project, inside of UI folder, I create index.ts, and from there I export default as header from header. And now when I import it, let's go to layout. So here we're going to import our header. It goes from components/UI. And now when we create a footer also, it's going to go from the same directory, and we are just going to add here whatever component we need. So let's see how is this header looking now. Okay, we are going to fix this. So let's put inside of our header here, let's put first flex, then full width, and we're going to justify it to end. Let's see how does it look now. Okay, nice, and just a little bit of padding. Okay, and this one should be absolute and not like this. Okay, and top of maybe 20 to push it down. Perfect. It fits perfectly here. So now we need our state condition, and for that one we are going to use state hook from React. So let's call it is show model, and set is show model, using use state by React, and by default it's going to be false. So that one is a boolean, and because we have here our use state hook, we need use client because we are working inside of Next.js. And now this one should be only visible if is show model is true. So we are going to move this entire code inside, and on our button here we are going to say on click to set is show model to always the other way around of is show model. So here, if it is true, it is going to put it to false, and if it is false, it is going to put it to true. Let's see now how does it work, and does it work? Nice! So we have implemented our model logic, and now we need our design. First, we are going to put some text, and instead of this dialog, we are going to say join the mighty Horde. And we are going to put here background white. Okay, now it already looks much better. Here we are just going to put text to be a little bit smaller. Nice. And now here we just need some icons. So let's search for the social icons. They have them here. They are. So we are just going to put YouTube, GitHub, and mail. And let's see here, GitHub, Google, Gmail. So this is one icon. We are just going to put it here. I'm going to create a new div. So this one is GitHub, and let's create YouTube and Gmail. Let's see if they work. Yeah, I got them right. And we can put here small instead of big. Nice. And let's create a button and put a button for each icon. So this one is for the GitHub, and let's put the same thing here and close our buttons. Nice. And maybe to remove this is primary, so it's not blue, it can be white. Great. And now here we can put a flex and gap of maybe 2 and justify center and item center. Let's see how does it look. Perfect. This looks really great. Only one thing is left, and that's to put the close X icon, and they have it already here. Yeah, here it is. So we need this one also, and that one is also going to be a button. So we are just going to put it here inside. We can put a div, and here we're going to put an icon, changing again to class name, and it's just going to be a flex and justify end. Let's see, where is it now? Okay, it's there, but we need to put it to be small, like this. Nice. And just here we can put this one inside one div and put a little bit of padding, maybe 3. Yeah, so now it's a little bit separated. It's not that close to this X, and X is going to be a simple button like this, and we're just going to say on click set is show modal to false. And let's see now if it works. Okay, so link is working, and that's it. We finished our dropdown. Now we moved a little bit our content because of this header, so we can just relax here with this padding 24 and put 10. Okay, now it's good. So next thing, oh, look at this. So here we need also to put a little bit of Z index inside of our header, and it's this one. So that one, I think Z10 is going to be enough. Yes, nice. So next thing is to build here our project section that is going to come up in the model. For that, we are going to create here a footer component, footer, and inside footer.tsx, we're also going to use snippets to quickly create our footer component, and this one is also going to be a footer, and we are going to put it to be fixed so it's not moving anywhere to bottom 0 and no bottom 5 and left 5. And here we are going to put same thing like for our header. We're going to put a button. Where is the footer? And let's add it. I'm just going to comment this one because we're going to need it anyway, and let's create it inside of our index so we can just import it together with the header like this. And now inside of our layout, we're just going to call our footer here, and let's see how does it look. Okay, looks nice. It's the same like this one, but now we're going to put the star instead of our trophy, this one. So that's the large star, and inside of our footer, instead of this I tag, we are putting the star. Looking nice. We're just going to put it to be normal, not large, not small. Yeah, I think that one is looking good. Actually, it can be even more retro if we remove our button classes and return the isLarge class on our star. And now we have a button that is only a star. Nice. Now we are doing exactly the same thing like we did in our header. So we need to create our isShowModal like this. And we are going to use state from React, and we need use client because of that inside of our component to say that it is a client component. And now here we need to have our isShowModal condition, and whoops, and based on that we are going to show some div. And let's see if it works now. It works. Okay, so this div is going to be fixed in set of 0, which is giving us basically top 0, left 0, right 0, and bottom 0. And we are going to put background color of 500 with opacity of 50. Let's see how does it look for now. Okay, this one is good, just our div needs to be on the middle. So now we can copy again from our header this Nes dialog and put it here inside. Where is the footer? And I'm going to put it inside of this div, and let's just see how does it look. Okay, so this one should be flex and then justify center and items center. Let's see, it's on the middle now, and we are going to put this to be the width of 40 rem or something like that. Nice. And this absolute is killing us, and this one also. So we can move this Z10 to be here in our container div. And now it's on the middle. So this is what we wanted. Now we need to change our content. And now our axe is probably working. Yes, because we called our state totally the same. So now we're going to add that joystick icon, and it's this one. So that's the fourth one, the SNES JP logo thingy. And we can delete everything from here. So we're replacing this with our logo, class name instead of class. And let's just see if we're on the right track. We are. Nice. And we can here create a new div, and that one can be flex call, and it should be justified to center and items center also. So now everything is centered and we can start writing our projects. So we can write here my projects. We are just going to use a simple paragraph, my projects, and 2 dots, and here it is. It's already centered. We're just going to put a little bit of gap, let's say 5, to make some room. And now we need below our projects. Again, we are going to use containers. So we're going to use, where are they? Here they are. So we're going to use first white, then black, then again white. I'm going to copy black and white container and just put it here. Again, changing classes to class names, and let's see how does it look. Looks great. Only thing we're going to add here is a link, and that link for now is just going to lead to the hashtag. Same thing here. Okay, let's see how does it look when we have our mouse over. Looks cool. So we're just going to add one more black project like this, and now it looks fancy. Only thing I would change is maybe to put 2 dark containers and 1 this container, and also this centered can be removed. So I'm just going to put it like this, and now we have it look a little bit more with some contrast. So now I'm going to put my projects inside. So I'm just going to pull something from my GitHub, and first thing I'm going to put is the textual games. I'm just going to copy the text. That's the only reason why I'm opening now my GitHub account. So here it's going to be textual games, and I'm just going to copy this part of description like this, and next project is going to be Orcish AI Next.js framework, this one, and copying the whole name, putting it here, and I'm just going to take the first sentence or something like that. This one is enough, and I'm putting that one also here. And third thing, I can just put the Orcish admin from here. And what can I say? Oh, I don't even have a description. Okay, I'm just going to put here Orcish admin, and here to write some simple admin area built in Next.js. Okay, let's see now how does it look. Looks great. So we finished our model. We're going to check later everything, is it mobile responsive or not. And the last thing we need to build is that pixely orc that we need to put here behind my head. For that one, we are going to build another component, and we are going to call it subscribe orc, and we are going to create subscribe orc.tsx component, and we are just going to rename it to subscribe orc like this, and we are going to export it, subscribe org, and here subscribe dash org. Nice. And that one is going to be also fixed. It's going to be on bottom 0 and right 0. And here we're going to call our image. So we're going to use next image again. And our image name is pixel.org. So that's source / pixel.org.webp, like this. And we're going to put width to 300, height to 300, and alt to be just org. Okay, and now we're going to call it also in our layout. We can just do it anywhere because it's fixed anyway. So we're calling subscribe org, putting it on our page. And here it is. Let me just move my head out of your way here. Okay, so that one is looking nice and interesting. It's giving that like gaming retro vibe. And now we're going to use that Nes balloon they have, like a dialogue, this one. And that org is going to say, where is the code? Here it is. That org is going to say subscribe. So we are taking this one, or maybe just this part. And inside of our subscribe org, we are going to put it, let's say, just here for now. Class name. Let's see if it works. Works nice. Okay. It shouldn't be from left. It should be from right, like this. And now we just need to put it to be absolute. Or maybe it even doesn't need to be absolute. Maybe we can just move it above the image and make a little bit smaller, maybe 60. No, it's still too big. 44. Yeah, this is it. And now we just say subscribe instead of hello Nes.css. And let's put text to small, or maybe even to XS. Nice. That's it. Great. And now we just need to create it when we put our mouse over the org. It needs to show the subscribe. And we're going to do it again. Same thing like with all the models, is show dialog, and set is show dialog. And for that we're using use state, and that one is also going to be false by default. So that's a Boolean value. And we're using client component in this case. So here for our image, on mouse enter, we are going to call set is show dialog to true, and on mouse leave we are just going to say false, and we're going to show this dialog only if this one is show dialog is true. And let's test it out. So now there is no dialog. If I go my mouse over, it's showing. Perfect. That's all that we wanted. And also for this image, it can be a link to some, I don't know, to subscribe to YouTube or something like that. And ref, I'm just going to put it again like this, so you can use it later if you want to use this template. And yeah, now also we have our cursor, making it look like a link. Perfect. So now basically we finished everything. Let's now check first if we have some console log errors. Image with source pixel.org was detected as largest contentful paint. Priority, okay, we can add that one. That is not that important now. The most important thing I wanted to check is if this one is responsive. So if we go, okay, so already we see that this one, the age 1, should be text center and not like this. Okay, now it's better. And now if we go more and more, we see that our orc is going over our content and this one is not looking good. Okay, so we need to fix first this greetings hero section, and then we need our grid to put it to go to 2 or maybe even 1. Let's do that here. So after medium it's 3 columns, and before grid calls 2. Let's see how does it look. Okay, it's good. If we go more, it's not good. So after small, it's grid calls 1 and grid calls 2 and grid calls 1 if it's smaller, like this. Okay, now this greetings thingy, so that one has this width of 45. Let's put it only after medium. Okay, so now it already looks much better if we go bigger and bigger. Oh, that one is actually solved. Nice. Okay, so now we need to put this orc also to be smaller on smaller screens. So that's the subscribe orc. We can put here some width of maybe 32 to see how it looks. This is good probably for smaller screens, yes. And we are just going to say after medium to be, I don't know, 64. Let's see now how does it look. So we're going. Okay, yeah, this one is cool. And now we need these to be in the center. Let's see why is it not centered. It's in the page. So here we have this one. Oh, we are closing it too early. Let's put everything here, and that one should be flex call and not only flex. Yes, now it's centered. Let's just see in, yeah, it looks good also for big screens. Perfect. So this one is great. Let's see this inside the small screens. Okay, let's see like this. Looks great. And the model also is working. Perfect. Everything looks good and it's mobile responsive. And that's it. We have our 8-bit retro pixely portfolio. And look, what is this orc saying? Subscribe, warriors. You have this portfolio on a public GitHub repository in the description below, and you can use it to create a portfolio for you. Of course, it doesn't have to be exactly like this. You have Nes.css implemented, so you can go to Nes.css and use any component that you want. There are a bunch of things here that I was not using in this tutorial. And of course, a big shout out to these guys, to developers of Nes.css. Go to their GitHub page, put a star on their project. They really gave a lot of their time to create something like this. So that's really great. And if you know any more interesting frameworks like this, like Nes.css, just put it in the comment below and I'll try it out. I'll try to create something like this. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.